Well, good evening again to all of you. I had a chance to speak with some of you as you came in. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to chat with a lot of you, but I want to welcome all of you here this evening. I'm pleased to present my State of the City address to you. I'll briefly highlight each of our city departments here this evening in this address, and I'll start with the city attorney. The city attorney's office is the city's in-house legal law firm, which provides high-quality legal services to our city. Our legal team prepares legal opinions, ordinances, resolutions, agreements, contracts, and other documents for the mayor, city council, and city departments. In addition, the attorney's office handles criminal prosecution, serves as counsel to the redevelopment agency, defends the city from civil litigation, and manages the risk activities of the city. No wonder you're tired. The operation of the city government presents complex and numerous legal issues, and we are lucky to have a legal department that's effective, efficient, and competent. The Community and Economic Development Department includes the planning and building divisions and has responsibility for planning and zoning matters, providing staff to the Planning Commission, licensing of nearly 4,000 businesses, managing permits and building applications, providing plan reviews and inspections of new construction, conducting code enforcement, and administration of the city's redevelopment agency. Our Finance and Administration Department has responsibility of budget development and control, accounting, payroll, payables and receivables, and utility billing. That department also includes the city recorder, purchasing, and passport services. The Utility Billing Division issued more than 250,000 utility bills in 2019 and answered nearly 30,000 customer service calls. The city recorder managed 552 public documents, including agreements, deeds, easements, ordinances, resolutions, and other recorded documents. The recorder's office also issued a record number of first-time passports, 4,423, and in addition to that, 633 passports were renewed, so over 5,000 passports were issued last year from our city recorder's office. In 2019, the Murray Fire Department responded to over 1,200 fire calls and nearly 5,000 calls for emergency medical services, resulting in 2,200 ambulance transports. Our new state-of-the-art headquarters fire station at the corner of 4800 South and Box Elder Street will be ready for service next month. Right, Chief? It's a two-story, 23,000 square foot, 5-bay station, which will house firefighters and paramedics and a lot of equipment, as well as fire prevention and administrative offices, replacing the former headquarters station, which will be demolished to make way for the Hanauer Street extension. And on a personal note, that fire station that we're going to be tearing down here in the next couple of months opened just a few months after I was hired as a rookie firefighter. So that dates me, I guess. The fire department also took possession of a new modern Pierce fire engine, which is housed at Station 82 on East Vine Street. Our Human Resources Department supports 400 full-time and 396 part-time employees, manages job postings, employee benefits, employee training programs, and human resource policies. They have also initiated a new employee wellness program and organized the Employee Wellness Council last October. As a city, our employees are our greatest asset, and we value the service they perform every day. Since implementation of the salary step plan for our employees, our workforce turnover has stabilized greatly, especially in the police department. The Information Technology Department has oversight of all computer systems in the city. The IT department provides technical support for every city department, plus the city council. In addition, the Geographic Information Systems, or GIS division, provides mapping for public safety, power lines, public utilities, and many other uses. We acknowledge and value the excellent service we receive from our IT professionals. And if you look at new technology, we have really come a long way since when in 1908, the first typewriter was authorized to be purchased by the city, about 5 years after incorporation. Our outstanding Parks and Recreation Department provides highly utilized programs for citizens of all ages. Our golf course continues to be one of the most popular courses in the area, hosting nearly 62,000 rounds of golf in 2019. I think half of those were Doug. He just wishes. Our parks and trails are heavily utilized and enjoyed year-round. If you're wondering if people still are playing Pokemon Go, just go to Murray Park on a Sunday afternoon, and I can assure you that there will be no doubt in your mind. Murray Park Pavilions 1, 2, 3, and 4 were demolished this past fall to make way for our new pavilions, which will be completed this spring. We're very excited about the new pavilions. Pavilion 5, which is the large pavilion immediately adjacent to the park office, will be torn down this fall and replaced prior to spring of 2021. Excuse me. Other notable park projects this year include new lighting at the softball field, leisure pool deck replacement with the addition of LED lighting in the pool, and 2 new playgrounds at the Willow Pond Park. Our outdoor swimming pool, which is open basically from Memorial Day to Labor Day, sold over 37,000 daily admission passes, plus 430 punch passes, and had 51 after-hour pool rentals last year. Our recreation division operated 30 youth programs with approximately 7,000 participants. Some new programs started this year include pickleball tournaments, esports competition, cornhole league, and girls competitive volleyball. Murray Cultural Arts reached over 48,000 patrons during the year through performances, programming, and arts education. The Fun Days parade and activities were very popular again, as they always are, as thousands lined the streets to see the parade. Later, a crowd seemed to enjoy watching city officials and others with their heads buried in peach pie at the No Hands Pie Eating Contest. I promise they all came up for air. Our Murray Senior Recreation Center is another treasure of our city that I continue to be very proud of. The many volunteers, the advisory board, and the dedicated staff all combined to make the center something special. The center has had an amazing 117 volunteers contribute approximately 6,500 hours in providing programs and services. The center also served nearly 10,000 meals in 2019. At the end of the year, there were 1,626 seniors registered as participants. The Senior Recreation Center Director, Trish Cook, does an outstanding job, and I can tell you that she is genuinely loved by the center participants. I was expecting some cheers from that group.
I pay him well.
And I can tell you that Trish loves them too. Last year, in my State of the City address, I expressed appreciation to the City Council for funding the Parks and Recreation Master Plan. That plan has now been completed. In fact, the public comment period ended just yesterday. And now it will go to the City Council for consideration and adoption. We appreciate all who have worked so hard to make that plan a reality. I'm very proud of our outstanding police department. Our officers, detectives, and staff work tirelessly in protecting and serving our community. Most of you would be amazed, if not startled, at the cases handled day in and day out by our police. And I can tell you by sharing the same floor as the police department that we see firsthand some of the clientele. I appreciate the fact that these men and women are willing to put themselves in harm's way each day for all of us. The Patrol Division not only patrols our streets, but also our parks and parkways to improve our safety. An emphasis this last year included extra patrols in school zones to increase the safety of our children. This has been effective as the number of vehicle incidents in our school zones has been sharply reduced. I would also like to mention our ongoing support of the DARE program, or Drug Abuse Resistance Education, by our police department in our elementary schools. During the past year, Officer Rebecca Cox, our DARE program manager, taught 25 classes in 9 schools, reaching 560 fifth grade students. Our power department is continuing to pursue and invest in power projects that add to the reliability of our electric system. In addition, we're committed to increasing the amount of green or renewable energy in our energy portfolio. We have partnered through the Utah Associated Municipal Power Agency, or UAMPS, in a small modular nuclear reactor project and have entered into an agreement for participation in a large-scale solar project. The Murray City Power Department continues to operate effectively and competently. The power fund is in favorable condition, and currently there is no outstanding bond debt in the power department. Last May, our power department had the opportunity to send a crew of 4 linemen and a supervisor to the Navajo Reservation in southeastern Utah and northern Arizona to participate in an initiative known as Light Up Navajo. The Navajo Tribal Utility Authority is working to reduce the number of homes without electricity, and in 2019 partnered with the American Public Power Association to connect Navajo homes to the electric grid for the first time. Because of this pilot project, electricity was extended to and dramatically changed the lives of 233 families that never had electricity. And I got to explain to you why I get a little bit emotional about this. I had the opportunity to go down and spend a day with them down there, and they invited us to their appreciation banquet at the end of the week. It's literally life-changing to see people who have never had electricity They even asked me to speak at their banquet. It's almost impossible to imagine that just a few hours down the road from here, where for us an outage of more than a few minutes seems like a major inconvenience, people are still living without electricity. Because of the success of the Light Up Navajo project, we hope to participate again this year and plan to participate again this year on approval of the City Council. I want to reemphasize what I've stated before about our power department. All residents of Murray City benefit from the city-owned utility, even those who are not receiving electricity from Murray Power. The power department provides trimming of street trees, maintains street lighting, and pays an annual dividend to the city general fund, which subsidizes public safety, street maintenance, and other services in the entire city and is a benefit to all residents. Our Public Works Department is a complex department with diverse responsibilities. It's said that their job is to get clean water in and dirty water out. Public Works includes engineering, streets, water distribution, solid waste, stormwater, wastewater, and the city fleet. Some significant public works projects this past year include completion of Phase 1 of the Vine Street Improvement Project from 9th East to 13th East, completion of the Utana Storm Drain Project, and replacement of the 6400 South Canal Bridge at 1300 East. In addition, over 5,000 lineal feet of damaged sidewalk was replaced and nearly 6,000 feet of curb and gutter replaced. I know what you're thinking, we needed about 50,000 more feet of sidewalk replaced, I know. Just a couple of fun facts, though. In 2019, the Streets Division used 3,556 tons of asphalt in 5 overlay or rebuild projects. and slurry sealed 63 city streets. Our crews also filled 1,222 potholes. In the water system, replacement wells have been drilled at the 45th South well and the Murray Park well. In 2019, we installed more mainline water pipe than in any year since keeping records, with over 2,000 feet of new pipe in 6 projects. Another significant project was the rebuild of the Walden Glen lift station at Walden Park on 5400 South. Last year, the State Division of Drinking Water revised what they call their Improvement Priority System Rule. This rule is a tool for the division to track violations and physical deficiencies in water systems. I'm pleased to note that we have no violations. The Murray City Library continues to promote itself as your friendly hometown library. 3 initiatives this past year at the library supported their effort to eliminate barriers to library use. These initiatives are, first, limited use accounts, which allow patrons to use the library on a limited basis, even if they don't have proof of a current address. Second, Amnesty Month, which was an effort to allow patrons to clear lost charges on their account if they return lost items. And third, automatic renewal, which automatically renews items that are not on hold by another user, resulting in a decrease in small fines. And sometimes our citizens appreciate that. You know, if we just forgot to get it back, we're proud of our library and its forward-thinking leadership. The mission of the Murray Municipal Justice Court is to provide the citizens of Murray an open, fair, efficient, and independent system for the advancement of justice under the law. Our City Justice Court operates very efficiently. The number of cases heard by the court remained relatively unchanged from 28 to 2019, except for the number of small claims cases, which more than doubled from 23 to 52. The court has worked with the county jail in reducing the number of prisoners transported between the jail and the court by holding video court once a week, drastically reducing transport fees and increasing safety. In fact, we estimate an annual savings of approximately $35,000 by doing this. In my State of the City address last year, I outlined 5 areas of priority for the year, and this evening I wish to comment on each one of these areas individually. First was to eliminate or greatly reduce empty commercial buildings in Murray City. I'm happy to note this evening that after an extended vacancy, a new furniture store will soon open in the former Toys R Us location on South State Street. The former Sports Authority building on 9th East will soon be the home of EOS Fitness. After several years of being unoccupied, the former Kmart site on 900 East and Van Winkle will be transformed into an attractive mixed-use development with a combination of commercial buildings and housing units. The former Cotton Shop building will soon be renovated into a high-end men's clothing store. Our community and economic development staff is in frequent contact with property owners of other buildings throughout the city, such as the former Shopco location and the now vacant Firestone stores, to offer assistance as they actively market their properties. In addition, our community development staff is continuing dialogue with a potential developer of the old ore sampling mill site on 300 West near 5300 South, and are optimistic that we will be able to help facilitate redevelopment of that site, hopefully in the near future. And not in my speech, and not a big box store, but I get asked more than anything else, what happened to Taco Bell? Well, I'm happy to note that Taco Bell will be back, just about a block down the street from where it was, and a new Shake Shack will be where Taco Bell was. Second was to proactively advocate for new development in the Murray City Center District. We're in the process of preparing a request for proposals for the commercial area from 4800 South to Fifth Avenue on the west side of State Street, from State Street to Poplar, which will be issued in the coming weeks. We are actively communicating with several development firms who are interested in developing that site, and I anticipate a new development agreement for that area this year upon approval of the Redevelopment Agency Board. Directly to the west of that area, the construction of our new City Hall and Police Department is scheduled to begin in May. If it seems like we've been talking about the new City Hall for a long time, it's because we have. Planning and preparation for a project like this takes much longer than the construction, and this has been a challenging site. The City Hall complex will be nestled between 4800 South and Fifth Avenue, and between the newly extended Hanauer Street and Box Elder Street. The relocation of the cell tower that's on the property is the last major hurdle for us to clear before construction begins there. The new City Hall will consolidate staff functions to improve customer service and will provide much needed and updated space for the police department. It will also provide a public plaza and public parking. Not only will the new City Hall provide a home for city operations, but we also anticipate that this new city center complex will be a catalyst for further development in the area. And in fact, potential developers are already showing interest in that area. The new headquarters fire station that I mentioned earlier is another significant improvement in that district. Third was to address funding for the Murray Theater renovation. As I mentioned in the last State of the City address, the city has received a grant through the Salt Lake County Tourism, Recreation, Cultural, and Convention, or TRAC funds, of $3.6 million over 2 years. The second half of that funding was approved and included in the recently adopted Salt Lake County budget for this year. In addition, the Murray City Council approved a $1 million appropriation in the current budget. That still leaves us with a funding gap of approximately $2 million to complete the renovation. We've recently entered into a fundraising agreement with an organization, a professional fundraising organization, to seek substantial private donations to help close this funding gap. And as part of that, Doug will be walking around with his hat, and we'll be selling cupcakes as you leave here this evening. No, not really. Those of you that just thought, "Ooh, a cupcake sounds good," I'm sorry. We believe there is significant interest in the community to see the renovation and repurposing of this historic theater happen. Fourth is to improve social media use and technology. Our efforts in social media improvements over the past year appear to be successful. We have had an increase in social media following on Instagram and Twitter, in addition to our Facebook presence. The number of subscribers, what do you call them on Facebook? Followers, thank you. The number of followers on Facebook has tripled. I invite all of you to follow us on social media if you're not already doing so. During this past year, we have upgraded and improved the city website to make it more user-friendly, and we continue to make improvements. There are a lot of things on this website, but we are striving to make it as user-friendly as possible. We've increased our postings of what is happening in all of our city departments in our attempt at improving transparency and sharing current events. We now post supporting documents in addition to agendas for redevelopment agency and planning commission meetings online, and are going paperless wherever possible. We have also improved the process for report of concern from any citizen when entered on our website. These reports are now submitted directly and automatically into a work order system and sent to the appropriate director or department, the appropriate department or individual to be addressed. In the future, we'll have customer service portals for utility payments, business licenses, and billing permits. And fifth is my commitment to continuous improvement, something I've been preaching for the last 3 years that I've been mayor, 2.5 years. Synonyms of improvement include upgrade, enhancement, progress, and expansion. We have demonstrated continuous improvement in many ways, and here are a couple of examples. During this past year, our finance department has outsourced the printing and mailing of our utility bills, which have previously been done in-house. This change has resulted and will continue to result in a savings of over $10,000 per year. We also found that not everything is best outsourced. We found that we could increase the quality and efficiency of our facilities maintenance by discontinuing the outsourcing of much of our building maintenance and bringing our city-owned buildings under our in-house maintenance division. Another example is a cost-saving improvement in the Justice Court. In addition to the video court savings that I mentioned earlier, we have been able to reduce the amount of office space occupied by the court, eliminating the need to lease additional building space. This change will result in a savings of approximately $65,000 per year. Some of this was made possible by a reduction in storage space requirements due to technology. And I just want to say that I appreciate our senior court clerk, Karen Gallegos, and her staff for making this happen. Thank you, Karen. So as I considered my comments for this evening, I asked myself, what is the state of Murray City? One of the ways I could describe, or I would describe, the state of Murray City is evolving, changing, in transition. Excuse me. And one of the ways it's changing is in the housing market. While Murray has traditionally been mainly single-family neighborhoods, the demographics of our region are driving changes. Cost of land and subsequently the cost of housing has dramatically increased. Murray now has a diversity of housing types, including high-density apartments, townhomes, manufactured homes, as well as single-family homes. Because Murray has been landlocked for many years, growth has been mainly in development of smaller parcels and redevelopment. We are fortunate to have several new single-family developments happening in Murray, helping to maintain a balance of housing types. In addition to the housing units already under development, there were 463 new housing units approved by the Planning Commission in 2019. Of those 463 units, 430 were multifamily units, 24 were single-family dwellings, and 9 accessory dwelling units, or ADUs. Now, an ADU is a self-contained dwelling unit within an owner-occupied single-family residence, such as a mother-in-law apartment. Now, incidentally, this is talking about timing of approvals. We have many more homes under construction, and incidentally, there have also been 58 new single-family lots approved already this year in January by the Planning Commission. So we do have a diverse mix. The tracks and front runner lines through the city will continue to influence development along the transportation corridors, adding density to the housing mix of the city. The increase in development across the entire valley has increased traffic challenges for Murray. Since we're in the center of the valley and bisected by both I-15 and State Street, regional traffic problems have also become our traffic problems. Incidents on I-15, especially during peak traffic time, often result in near gridlock on many of our city streets as drivers look for alternate routes. Seeking solutions to traffic issues will be a challenge for city leaders and planners for the years to come. Now, not everyone agrees on whether change, particularly in the housing market, is positive or negative. One argument is that our housing is already too dense. Another is that we need affordable housing stock for the increasing population. In his book, The Restaurant at the End of the Universe, Douglas Adams says, quote, The story so far. In the beginning, the universe was created. This has made a lot of people very angry and had been widely regarded as a bad move. Whatever your point of view, I encourage all citizens of Murray City to be involved in the public hearing processes that occur at our Planning Commission meetings and our City Council meetings, and let your voice be heard. These are where the decisions about land use and future of our city are made. Shifting gears for just a moment to finances. In general, Murray City is financially sound. Sales tax revenue, which accounts for nearly half of our general fund income, increased a modest 2% during the past year. We continue to provide outstanding city services with relatively low taxes. Our retail business climate is strong, as Murray continues to be a great place to shop and do business. I am slightly uneasy, however, as I observe that the escalating costs of providing services seem to be outpacing our current revenue streams. I believe that the future financial success of Murray will involve a more diverse tax revenue stream to reduce our reliance on sales tax. Part of this strategy is to redevelop the underutilized commercial properties in our city to help grow our property tax base in the future. Murray is in a state of change, of transition. The writer George Bernard Shaw once said, "Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything." And I'll add to that the alternative to change is status quo. Now, I'm optimistic about the future of Murray. Murray will continue to be a great place to live and work, and will continue to provide the great services that make Murray the envy of other municipalities. I end with a quote from the famous American poet Longfellow. Quote, "Look not mournfully into the past, it comes not back again. Wisely improve the present, it is thine. Go forth to meet the shadowy future without fear." I look forward to the future, and I hope you do too. Thank you very much for being here tonight.